Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. If you're anything like us, you've probably felt that dizzying pace of AI advancements lately.
Oh, absolutely.
It can feel like trying to drink from a fire hose, right? How do you possibly keep up?
It's true. It feels like every week brings something new, some big breakthrough.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's easy to get lost in the noise, just trying to figure out what actually matters.
Totally.
So our mission today is really to cut through all of that for you.
Exactly. We're here to unpack some of the latest, most impactful developments in AI, things that are, fundamentally transforming the way we think, the way we build, and how we interact with these powerful systems. You're about to get a real shortcut, hopefully, to being truly well-informed on what's coming next.
And we've got some genuinely surprising things lined up, I think. We'll be exploring how the leading AI models are getting dramatically smarter, like reasoning in new parallel ways.
Parallel ways.
Yeah, almost like having an entire team of, brilliant minds all working on one problem at the same time. The core idea. We're shifting from like one big AI brain to this dynamic team of AI brains tackling things together.
Interesting. Okay. And what else?
And then there's how access to a whole bouquet, as they call it, of diverse AI models is being democratized.
A bouquet. I like that.
Right, making powerful tools available to a much, much wider audience of developers. The game changer isn't just more models. It's about streamlined, affordable access for like every developer, not just the tech giants.
Very good. Democratizing the tools. Got it.
And perhaps the most, well, maybe groundbreaking part. We'll dive into how AI is now becoming a fully autonomous machine learning engineer.
Wow. Okay. Autonomous.
Yeah, capable of building and deploying other AI systems entirely on its own.
Whoa.
The fundamental shift here is huge. It's going from AI being a tool we use to AI building and deploying its own tools, automating these really complex human-intensive processes that took ages before.
Okay, that's a lot to unpack. So what's the takeaway for listeners?
Well, by the end of this deep dive, you should have a much clearer picture of these breakthroughs, why they really matter and what they could actually mean for the future of tech and, frankly, beyond.
All right, sounds great. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
First up, let's talk about intelligence itself. So Google has just rolled out something called Gemini 2.5 deepthink. They're describing it as their most advanced AI reasoning model. What seems revolutionary here is its ability to answer questions by exploring and considering multiple ideas at the same time.
Right, simultaneously.
Yeah, and then using those different outputs to pick the best answer. Apparently, it's now available to Ultra subscribers in the Gemini app.
Yeah, and this is a pretty significant shift. Gemini 2.5 Deepthink is actually Google's first publicly available multi-agent model.
Okay, break that down.
So it's not just one AI thinking, it's a system that actually spawns multiple AI agents to tackle a question in parallel. Think of it like a debate team, right? Where each member is an AI, bringing different angles, different arguments to the table.
Okay, I get that analogy.
Now, this approach, it definitely uses significantly more computational resources, no doubt about it.
Sure, sounds like it would.
But it tends to result in far better, more robust answers. We even saw a version of this kind of model help Google score a gold medal at this year's International Math Olympiad.
Gold medal in the Math Olympiad. That's seriously impressive.
Yeah.
So, okay, if that IMO model takes hours to reason, what does that tell us about the computational demands and, the scale of problems these multi-agent systems are really built for?
Yeah, it highlights that these advanced systems, they're powerful, absolutely, but they are resource intensive.
Right.
DeepThink specifically uses some novel reinforcement learning techniques to make better use of its reasoning paths. Google says DeepThink can help people tackle problems needing creativity, strategic planning, step-by-step improvements.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
And do the numbers back that up?
They seem to. It achieves state-of-the-art performance on something called Humanity's Last Exam, or HLE.
HLE?
Yeah, it's this really challenging test, thousands of crowdsourced questions across math, humanities, science.
Yep.
DeepThink scored 34.8% without tools. Compare that to xAI's Grok 4 at 25.4% and OpenAI's O3 at 20.3%.
Wow, that's a noticeable jump.
It is. And it also outperforms them on Live Code Bench 6, which is a competitive coding task test. It scored 87.6% versus Grok 4's 79% and OpenAI o3's 72%.
That's a serious leap in performance across different kinds of complex tasks. And it automatically integrates with tools like code execution and Google Search.
Exactly, which lets it produce much longer, more detailed responses. They've even seen it do better on things like web development tasks, making them more aesthetically pleasing.
Interesting.
Which suggests it could really accelerate discovery for researchers, things like that.
It really does seem like the big AI labs are all kind of converging on this multi-agent approach then. Is that what you're seeing too?
Absolutely. It's definitely not just Google. Elon Musk's XAI recently released Grok 4 Heavy. That's also a multi-agent system, claiming industry-leading performance.
Right.
OpenAI researchers hinted their IMO gold medal model was multi-agent. And Anthropic's research agent, which generates these really thorough research briefs, same thing, multi-agent powered.
So it's becoming the standard for top-tier performance.
It seems that way. The downside, as you might guess.
The cost.
Exactly. These systems are even costlier to run than the already expensive traditional AI models. Which means, for now at least, they're likely to stay behind the most expensive subscription plans. You see that with both XAI and Google doing exactly that.
Makes sense. Keep the cutting edge for the premium tiers.
For now. But Google does plan to share Gemini 2.5 DeepThink with a select group of testers through the Gemini API soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to get a better handle on developer and enterprise use cases.
Well, speaking of APIs and developer access, that actually leads us perfectly into the next big development we wanted to talk about. Quora's AI platform, Poe. They just announced they're releasing an API.
Right.
And this allows developers to easily access that whole bouquet. You mentioned lots of different AI models for their own applications. This sounds like a pretty big deal for accessibility.
It really is. And the innovative part is how they've structured the access.
How so?
Well, the API doesn't require a separate fee. Instead, usage is tracked via Poe's existing point-based subscription plans.
Oh, interesting. So if you already subscribe.
Exactly. If you're already a Poe subscriber, your existing points can be used to power calls through this new API.
Okay, that's clever.
Yeah, they offer various plans, from like $4.99 a month for 10,000 points a day up to $249.99 a month for 12.5 million points a month. Big range.
And you can buy extra points too.
You can. Developers can buy additional points, like $30 for 1 million tokens without being locked into fixed packages. More flexibility.
This sounds like it could genuinely be a game changer for developers, powering tools like Cursor, Cline, Continue, basically anything that works with OpenAI compatible APIs.
That's the idea.
And that bouquet, the number of models is wild. Over 100 models across voice, text, image, video, Imagen 4, GPT Image 1. I mean, that's a huge range of capabilities in one place.
It really is diverse. And Poe's product lead mentioned they're working on allowing developers to take private bots they've built on Poe.
Oh, okay.
And use those through an API as well. And they're thinking about better key management for the API down the line.
So not just using the big commercial models, but potentially integrating your own custom Poe bots into other apps. That really does push powerful AI tools into the hands of way more developers. Although it sounds like developers currently need to pick and manage the model used manually.
For now, yes. But they seem open to adding budget management functionality based on feedback later on.
Okay, so what's the single biggest impact you see this Poe API having on developer ecosystem?
I think it's that democratized access we talked about, access to this huge array of cutting-edge AI capabilities all in one place. Before, getting access to such a diverse set might mean juggling multiple providers, different APIs, weird payment structures. It was complicated.
Right, a real headache.
Totally. Now it's all streamlined through one platform, one subscription potentially. It's a big step towards making advanced AI more pervasive, more adaptable, and really empowering smaller teams and individual developers in a way that was honestly pretty challenging before.
Yeah, lowering that barrier to entry seems key. Okay, let's unpack this next one because this might be the most mind-bending of the lot.
Okay, I'm ready.
Imagine AI not just using other AI, but actually building it.
Yeah.
We're talking about something called NEO, described as a fully autonomous machine learning engineer. It's apparently capable of solving complex data science, machine learning, even generative AI engineering tasks entirely on its own.
It's quite the claim.
Yeah. They claim it automates the entire ML workflow and saves developers thousands of hours of what's often called, the grunt work.
And the evolution this represents, it's truly remarkable when you think about it. For the last 50 years, machine learning progress has relied on just immense human effort, every single stage.
Right.
Data scientists, engineers, years spent developing, refining models, hands-on exploration. Even now, in 2025, ML engineers are working endlessly on these core challenges.
Can you maybe walk us through some of that core grunt work? What are we actually talking about that historically took so much time and effort?
Sure. First off, just dealing with the data itself, often unstructured, unprocessed data sets.
Okay.
This means days, sometimes weeks, just spent on raw data ingestion, cleaning it up, deduplication, figuring out the schema, normalizing it.
Sounds tedious.
It is.
Well,
Think manual parsing scripts, custom data transformation pipelines, ETL pipelines, detecting missing values, fixing corrupt records. It's incredibly time-consuming and, yeah, often pretty tedious work.
okay, so that's getting the data usable. What comes next?
Then you get into exploratory data analysis, EDA, and feature engineering. EDA isn't just plotting a histogram. It's running distribution checks, correlation matrices, finding outliers, dealing with class imbalance if you have it, and feature engineering. That's a mix of handcrafted transformations, encoding categorical variables, maybe reducing dimensionality, applying domain-specific logic. Still very manual, very iterative, lots of trial and error code in notebooks.
So you prep the data, you engineer the features, then you have to actually pick the right model and tune
Yeah.
it, right?
Exactly. Model selection means wading through countless options, from simple baselines in scikit-learn to things like XGBoost, ensemble methods, all sorts of neural network architectures.
Wow.
Then comes hyperparameter tuning. That alone can take days. Dozens of experimental runs you need to track somehow. And all of this depends on having robust computing environments.
Ah, the infrastructure headache.
Totally. Version mismatches, GPU memory errors, network bottlenecks. These things can break your pipelines overnight. Just making things reproducible is a constant headache for ML teams.
And then finally, assuming you get through all that, you have to actually get the model out there into the real world and make sure it keeps working reliably.
Right, the deployment and monitoring phase. And it's not just saving a model file, it's deploying it to production, maybe using containers like Docker and Kubernetes, setting up CI/CD pipelines to automate releases and updates.
Continuous integration, continuous delivery.
Exactly. And then post-deployment, you need continuous monitoring for drift, checking real-time metrics, setting up auto-scaling. Because when data patterns shift in the real world, your model's performance can degrade silently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, requiring emergency rollbacks or complete retraining. So all these steps, data wrangling, analysis, experimentation, infrastructure, deployment, monitoring, they've all traditionally demanded huge amounts of human effort, critical thinking, and just relentless troubleshooting by pretty large teams.
That paints a very, very clear picture of just how much manual work is involved. So NEO, this AI agent, steps in to automate all of that.
That's the core promise, yeah. NEO is positioned as an AI for AI agent, AI for AI, designed to streamline these ML workflows, enabling engineers to build and deploy pipelines they claim 10 times faster.
10 times faster.
It's developed with, apparently, a keen understanding of what ML engineers actually need. It's designed to adapt its execution workflows, and importantly, it can collaborate with engineers using a human-in-the-loop mode.
Okay, human in the loop.
Yeah.
That sounds crucial, especially when you're automating something this complex. How does that actually work in practice?
So NEO operates in a kind of sandbox environment. It uses a structured multi-step approach, breaks down complex problems into smaller, manageable components, and it goes through this continuous loop, planning, coding, executing, debugging, adapting, and iterating until it gets optimal results.
Right.
The human-in-the-loop mode lets developers provide feedback, maybe guidance, ask questions through an interactive chat interface. It gives users control, makes the process transparent.
So you can see what it's doing.
Exactly. It also provides an artifacts viewer so you can access the process datasets, the code it generated, the models it built. It ensures engineers maintain oversight and can step in when their unique human intuition is needed.
So it's not just a black box you hope works. You can actually interact and guide it. That seems like a really significant advancement. What kind of results has NEO shown? How do we know it's capable?
Well, its performance was evaluated on something called MLE Bench.
MLE bit.
Yeah, it basically puts AI agents through their paces on 75 actual Kaggle competitions. These aren't toy problems, they're real-world ML engineering tasks.
Okay, so real challenges.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And when they tested NEO across all 75 competitions, running each one 3 separate times, it excelled. It secured medals, meaning top performance in 34.2% of those competitions.
Wow.
And this performance beat other prominent agents like RD Agent and aid-scaffolded OpenAI o1. Earning a medal on Kaggle is genuinely hard. The competition is intense. The standards are really high.
That really does highlight its capabilities then. It's almost like having this award-winning collaborator tackling complex data challenges right alongside you.
That's a good way to put it. And we've seen specific examples of NEO in action. Fine-tuning a Whisper small model to reduce errors in clinical transcriptions.
Okay.
Building an ETA prediction model from a public data set. Analyzing a sleep stage prediction data set from wearables, including all that EDA, feature engineering, handling class imbalance.
Right, all the stuff you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. It's automating tasks that, until very recently, consumed immense amounts of human time, effort, and specialized expertise.
What a deep dive. Okay, we've covered some truly groundbreaking advancements today. It feels like a lot has shifted just in these 3 areas.
It really does. We started with the emergence of these multi-agent AI systems like Google's Gemini 2.5 deepthink.
Right, excelling in complex reasoning, competitive tasks, exploring multiple ideas in parallel, a fundamental shift in how AI thinks, basically.
Then we explored that unprecedented accessibility offered by platforms like Quora's Poe API, putting that whole bouquet of AI models right at developers' fingertips.
Yeah, making powerful tools available to so many more people,
Yeah.
democratizing access.
And finally, we discussed the groundbreaking arrival of autonomous ML engineers like NEO, AI that can automate the entire historically super labor-intensive machine learning workflow, essentially building and deploying other AI systems on its own.
Yeah, AI, building AI. So pulling it all together, it's clear AI isn't just improving in its core abilities like reasoning.
Right.
It's also becoming much more efficient in how it's built and deployed, and much more broadly shared. It feels like a shift from AI just being a tool we use to AI helping to create more tools and then making those tools incredibly accessible to almost everyone.
Absolutely. And that brings us, I think, to a pretty provocative thought for you, the listener, to consider.
Yeah, let's hear it.
If AI can now autonomously tackle all that grunt work of building and deploying new AI models, and those models, in turn, can reason in parallel to solve incredibly complex problems, what new frontiers of innovation will this actually open up for humanity? And maybe just as importantly, what new skills will we need to cultivate to collaborate effectively with these increasingly self-sufficient systems?
That's a big question. What do we need to learn to work alongside AI that builds AI? Something definitely to ponder as we move forward.
Indeed.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.